Professor Rosentraub, what are your general impressions of the recent seminar you had in Belgrade?
We had a great conversation. It was more than a seminar, it was more of a conversation where we discussed the role that tourism and sport has for economic development, for the attraction of human capital, and for the future design of cities like Belgrade. And so we had a large number of questions, good conversation, and we looked at cases of other cities and what they've accomplished.
And what are your impressions about the participants and their skills and knowledge in that field?
The best point I can say about the participants is that the conversation was supposed to end at 5 o'clock, and the discussion kept going. We did not finish for more than 40 minutes. Of what I can talk about their skills and interest was that our conversation was supposed to end at 5 o'clock, but the questions and the considerations of the future for Belgrade, we ended up speaking for an additional 40 minutes. The people were quite committed and understood the whole relationship between sport, image, and economic development. And we spent a great deal of time talking about options, plans for Belgrade, drawn from the experiences of other cities.
What could you tell us about the Belgrade potentials for the development in tourism and in sport?
Belgrade is a market of more than 3 million people. It will be the center of Serbia. But Belgrade, like other cities, has to begin to understand that the future of economic development is the battle for the attraction and the retention of human capital. For Belgrade, this will mean an entire different orientation about building a city that young people and the creative minds want to stay and live in. Belgrade has not only great potential, but it also has great risk, because if it doesn't become a city that attracts and retains the best human capital, then its economic development will be less than they hoped for. This was something the participants understood. They understood the experiences of other cities, and they now have a better perspective on the challenge before Belgrade.
Thank you. What are the universal problems when establishing a public-private partnership, and which problems you think would be specific for the Serbian environment?
All public-private partnerships require that not only is there both investment from the private partner with the public partner, but that the public partner be sure that their goals and their objectives are achieved. The private investor always wishes to maximize profit, and that's good. We want them to do that. But the public sector has to be equally sure of its goals and objectives. We spent a great deal of time talking about what is it that the public sector seeks to accomplish, and how it negotiates to be sure that in the partnership its goals are met.
Okay. Now some questions about the organization of the seminar. What do you think about the organization of the seminar in Belgrade?
We did, on the teaching side, or the conversation side, we did two things. We spoke about the theory that drives these issues for economic development, and we focused on case studies by looking at what other cities have done. No two cities are ever alike. You can't say, well, if this worked in city A, if I do exactly this, it will work here. But by looking, we did 3 case studies. We draw from each one certain lessons, and you take each piece, you stitch it together, and that's how you develop the strategy in your city. Whether it's Belgrade, whether it's Zagreb, whether it's Berlin, every city is different. But the more cases you look at, the more ideas you have.
Okay, and what do you think about our colleagues from publishing house Mate and their efforts in organizing the seminar?
The seminar was organized, was not only well organized, but quite professional. The facilities were excellent. The hotel that hosted us is a very fine location. Had great lunch, great service. Everything was perfect. It was a grade A facility.
And do you have any other comments regarding your visit to Belgrade?
It was my first visit to Belgrade, So it was a great opportunity for me to begin to understand all dimensions of the region that I did not know before. It was a great opportunity to walk the streets, and a great opportunity to watch as Belgrade enjoyed the Euro Cup, and to watch their support for matches. So I enjoyed all of that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.